What if the digital product you've been waiting to build is already sitting inside you and the only thing standing between you and your first sale isn't time or tech, but the belief that you need a huge following before you can start? Because that belief is costing women real money every single day. They're watching other people sell knowledge, templates, workshops, and offers thinking,
I'll do that once I grow my audience.
your audience grows slowly and your product never gets built. Today, I want to completely change that picture. We're going to talk about what digital products for beginners really look like, what formats work best when you're just starting, and how to figure out what you already have that people would pay for right now. And stay with me until the end because I'm also going to walk you through the digital product format that beginners consistently overlook. And it's the one that gets you your first sale the fastest. Now let's start this conversation by expanding the definition of what a digital product is, because most women walk into this conversation with a much narrower picture of digital products than they need. When most people hear digital product, they picture a 40 module online course, a fully produced video library, a membership site with ongoing content, and a complicated tech back end. They picture something that requires months of production, a team, and a serious launch budget. And that's one kind of digital product, but it's not the only kind. And it's definitely not where beginners should start. A digital product is any packaged piece of knowledge or expertise that helps someone get a specific result. That's the whole definition. And when you look at it that way, the category considerably opens up, because now we're talking about a 10-page workbook, a plug-and-play template, a focused PDF guide, a short audio training, a live workshop, a framework someone can immediately apply, and yes, a coaching offer. All of those are digital products, and all of them can generate income, and all of them have one thing in common. They're built around solving one specific problem for one specific person. The format is almost always secondary. What matters most here is the clarity of the problem and the quality of the outcome. When you stop thinking about digital products as productions and start thinking about them as solutions, the barrier to entry drops. What's required isn't a studio or a course platform. It's a clear problem, a clear outcome, and a clear format that gets someone there. Now, here's the pattern I see over and over and over again, and it's costing women months of momentum. Most beginners start with creation. They decide they want to build a digital product, so they start building. They pick a topic, they outline a course, they spend weeks recording videos, designing worksheets, setting up platforms, writing sales pages, and then 6 months pass by. And by that time, you're exhausted and overwhelmed, and you still haven't made a single sale. The reason isn't the quality of what you built, it's the sequence you use. The goal was never to build a digital product. The goal is to build income, and those are two very different starting points. A digital product is a vehicle, and the women who gain momentum fastest understand one thing that most beginners skip. Validation comes before creation. So before you spend months building something, you need evidence that people even care about the problem you're trying to solve. You need to know that they'd pay to have that problem solved. You need to know that the outcome you're promising truly matters to those people. Without that, you're building from an assumption, and assumptions are expensive. This is also why the build your audience first advice is so counterproductive for women who already have skills. Audience size is a vanity metric for product sellers who don't have a specific enough offer. When your offer is generic, you need volume. But when your offer is specific, when it solves a clear problem for a clear person, a giant platform stops being a requirement, because the right 10 people matter more than 10,000 random ones. An audience without a clear offer is just a following. A clear offer, even with a small audience, is a business. Keep watching, because in a bit, I'm going to walk you through the digital product formats that work best for beginners, including one that most women completely overlook. If this conversation is already shifting something for you, I want you to drop the word income down in the comments below. I have a free training where I break down what makes a skills-based offer work. I'll deep dive into what most women get wrong when they try to start, and why structure matters more than credentials or a big following. So drop the word income down below and I'll get you the details. So let's talk about what beginner-friendly digital products look like, because the format you choose should match where you are in your journey right now. Templates, guides, guides, and frameworks are some of the fastest to build and sell. They solve one specific contained problem and deliver an immediate applicable result. Think about a hiring manager who creates an interview framework, or a teacher who packages her parent communication templates, or maybe a project manager who turns her kickoff process into something other managers can buy and use tomorrow. Workshops and short trainings are another strong starting point. Depending upon the depth, a 60-minute training on one specific skill can sell for $27 to several $100s. And the questions people ask during a live workshop, the problems they surface, the language they use to describe what they need, all of that can then become the foundation for everything you build after it. And then there's the coaching offer. A coaching offer is a packaged skills-based experience with a defined problem, a defined outcome, and a defined time frame. At its core, a coaching offer is the most direct version of a digital product because it's your skills structured around a result someone else needs. Now, I want you to notice what all of these have in common is that they're built around one focused solution. And one of the biggest myths in the digital product space is that bigger equals better. It doesn't. People buy because something is useful. Length is not the value. A 10-page framework that solves a painful problem will outperform a 200-page guide every single time. The value isn't in the volume. The value is in the result. Now, here's the part that tends to stop women cold in a good way. When I ask women what they could teach or package, they usually get quiet for a second. And then they say something like,
I don't know, I haven't ever really thought about it.
And then I start asking questions. What do people come to you for? What do your family, friends, and colleagues ask you to explain? What do you know how to do that most people around you find overwhelming or confusing? What problems do you regularly solve that feel completely routine to you? And then that's when it starts coming out. A woman who navigated a layoff, rebuilt her finances, and got a better role has a job search strategy her entire LinkedIn network keeps asking her to share. A personal trainer has a sustainable workout structure for busy women over 40 that no generic gym program has ever addressed. A school counselor has a college application roadmap she's walked hundreds of first-generation students through that families are paying consultants 4 or 5 figures to access. A woman who went through a divorce and rebuilt her credit has a financial recovery roadmap that nobody publicly talks about, but everyone privately needs. See, all of that is digital product material, every single bit of it. And the reason most women don't see it is because their skills have become invisible to them. That's what happens when you've been doing something for years. It stops feeling special because it feels easy, but easy to you can be transformational for someone else. The work isn't in the creation, the work is in the curation. It's in organizing what already exists inside you into something that helps someone else get there faster. And if you've spent years giving that knowledge away in mentorship conversations, in office hours, in advice people follow and come back to you and thank you for, that's market validation. Those are your future buyers telling you exactly what they pay for. Now let's come back to the coaching offer, because of all the digital product formats we covered, it's the one most women consistently underestimate. And there's a specific reason it solves the beginner's biggest challenge better than any other format. The hardest part of starting a digital product business isn't building the product, it's building it around the right problem. And a coaching offer is the only format that generates the intelligence you need before you build anything else. When you run a coaching business, you learn in real time what people are struggling with, what questions they ask, what outcomes they want, and the exact language they use to describe their own pain. That becomes the blueprint for every other digital product you build after that. That's why so many successful digital products started as conversations before they became courses. The creator learned what people needed first, then built around it. When you build from validation, you're literally creating from evidence. A coaching offer also has the lowest production barrier of any other format. You don't need a complicated tech stack or a recording setup. A coaching offer requires zero production cost, and it has the highest margin of any offer you'll build. Most digital products take weeks to produce. A coaching offer can be structured and sold in a weekend. That's the model inside 2K in 2 hours, where I walk women through building a $2,000 coaching offer using the skills you already have. No big audience or certification required. Just you, your skills, structured into an offer that pays. Here's the thing about all this. Digital products are not reserved for influencers or full-time content creators. They're for anyone who has skills someone needs and the clarity to package it around a specific outcome. Your first digital product doesn't have to be your biggest. It has to be your clearest. So get clear on one problem you solve, choose the format that lets you validate it the fastest, then build the smallest version that still delivers a tangible result, and sell it before you spend months perfecting it. That sequence works whether you have 200 followers or 200,000 followers. And when you're deciding where to start, come back to the format that gives you the most intelligence for the least investment. Come back to the one that connects you directly to your buyers before you've built anything else. Think about what it would feel like to have income that doesn't depend on a single employer. To have something you built, something that keeps generating even when life gets complicated. That's what's on the other side of getting clear and getting structured. And if you're ready to move from thinking about this to doing something about it, I want you to start with 2K in 2 hours. In this micro course, I walk you through building a $2,000 offer using the skills you already have, without a big following, without a certification, and without a production budget. You can get 2K in 2 hours by visiting my website at herincomeedit.com/2K or click the link in the description. Your knowledge is already the product. It just needs a structure. If you're new here, my name is Nick Scott, and I help women turn their skills into coaching income, digital products, and online businesses. And if you're thinking,
Okay, I want to go deeper on the course and content side of digital products,
I made this video for exactly that. It walks you through the very first steps of turning your skills into a course or content product you can sell. Okay, I'll see you there.